Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing a brilliant product from Wharfedale in their Heritage series, their Super Lintons. Now, no points for guessing that these are the bigger, better version of the Lintons, which you'll see up here. Before I start though, it is worth mentioning that the quality of the wood grain and other key features is a big part of the purchasing decisions that people make about these products. They've matched the wood grain, which today it's walnut, with the stands. Now, rather than boring you with multiple unboxing videos just for the stands themselves, if you'd like to see them with all of its packaging and other associated things, check out the Linton video. The stands are identical because they've opted for a simplicity as far as the potential accessories, and they've opted for a very slightly larger cabinet with the Super Linton, so they still fit perfectly on the Linton stands. It means, of course, you've got the brilliance of the record storage that is now extremely popular with the range, and the tuning that comes with a specific height associated with the stand and the bass driver projecting into the room. It's worth mentioning, before I duck this off to one side, it features the Wharfedale Heritage logo and brilliant adjustable spiked feet. The stands themselves are heavy, and the second section of wood is designed to act as resonance damping for the top plate as well as the bottom plate. So the wood isn't there just for its cosmetics, it's there functionally as well. So, putting that off to one side, and we'll feature the speakers. Now, before I drag these down, it's worth mentioning, and please look out for this fact. These are matched pairs, a left and a right pair, and they're produced with a wood grain match in mind as well. So each of them have a unique identifier that is on each of the boxes, ensuring that these are delivered to you in matched pairs. There's a left and a right, and a delineated code that matches the two. Nevertheless, we'll be opening the left one, just coincidentally, and you'll see immediately as I drop it down onto the table how large these speakers are. Now, a factor in this is, of course, the packaging designed to ensure a wood grain speaker of this quality comes to you in one piece. So there's a whole bunch of foam and other things to ensure that the speaker is well protected. Nevertheless, it's about 22-23 kilos in its box each, and by the time it's out of the box and the packaging, it's about 19-20. So there's 2 or 3 kilos of additional packaging just to ensure this product gets to you perfect and in one piece. Now, looking at the box, for obvious reasons, as we've seen, we've got scandal information associated with model, serial number and matching code. We've got a line drawing of the speaker with the grill off. Worth noting, the grills are almost fixed in place. The grills can be removed, but very, very carefully. Not the type of thing you'd want to do at home. The prying off process could potentially damage the beautiful wood grain that's on the front edge. Nevertheless, for those that will wish to take the grill off, get in touch. I'll tell you how. Okay. Again, scandal information, line drawings, bit of information about the Wharfedale and Super Linton. Now, these are sellotape closed. Okay, so very, very straightforward as far as getting into them. Because they're so tall, I'm just going to pause and do this. Okay, very, very easy as far as getting into the packing tape. And it shows immediately the additional packaging that they have added as far as foam and other things to ensure that these end up in one piece. With any large speaker, anything heavy, you should always look to take the box off the speaker, not the speaker out of the box. A cardboard box is massively lighter as far as the overall weight, and you see the foam insulation on the top of that box, off it goes, and some of the pieces that have been used in transit. I mean, look at that. what have we got, 5-6 centimetres of closed cell foam on all 4 sides, as well as the additional protection in the corners. So they've thought about the potential disaster that comes with couriering these around the country or freighting them around the world. Taking them off that last piece of foam is relatively straightforward, and they've added with it not just a plastic bag but also a polish bag inside. Getting into the bag is relatively straightforward with a simple enough nick to get into the heavyweight and slightly oversized plastic bag. Rocking it forward gently for a moment, we reveal that it has a drawstring associated with the bag, and again that bag is designed to ensure that the wood grain and the finish is kept scratch free in transit. Taking the bag off and sliding it down immediately highlights a few little changes with this particular product. Firstly, you can see this is upside down. Okay, that's the first thing. And as I spin it around, the binding posts, okay, they're at the top because I need to roll it over. With the Lintons, there is an offset in the logo. With these, we've got them centrally and towards the bottom, matching identically actually the logo location on the stand. Again, very, very carefully rolling this over and taking off the bag. It's worth mentioning at the back, stuck on the back of the solid of the pot's semi-soft bag, is some desiccant to ensure that it stays moisture free in transit. Now the speakers themselves, firstly, it's a traditional 3-way design, and I mean that from a crossover network as well. There's a tweeter, it's a 1-inch tweeter, a 5-inch mid-range, and an 8-inch bass driver. Now for those who want to see those close up, please hang around as always towards the end of the video where I've got the close-up photographs. I'll carefully take this grill off so that you can see the drive units close up. Nevertheless, we see, hopefully the light is catching that. I might just sort of make sure that it's moving around a little bit. You can see that there is a lovely cutout with that grill, ensuring that it's acoustically transparent. They've kind of cheated a little bit by painting the inside black to ensure that they can get away with the grill being as fine and thin as possible. Specs wise, okay, so firstly, the big difference between the Lintons and the Super Lintons. A cabinet has evolved slightly, it's slightly bigger. They've added a bigger bass driver. Again, we'll get down to 32 Hz as I mentioned. Flat response at about 39 to 20 kilohertz. 25 to 200 watts is the recommended amplification, and again with anything as large as this and as capable as this, I'd always recommend power. Clean power, lots of wattage. Don't be afraid to keep the volume down but the current and voltage up, so to speak. In other words, you buy a potentially big amplifier and not necessarily use all of its potential, so that everything is kept in reserve. Nevertheless, these cabinets are about 600 millimeters high, so as you can see, proportionally. Now these are in walnut, and as I spin them round carefully, you'll see what a beautiful job they've done of the veneer, and again, lovely to complement it with the matched stand. At the back, we see some of the implication of the heritage, British in design, and the original Wharfedale logo is sort of in here with the gold embossing. The scannable, sorry not scannable, but the serial number is emulated on the back as well. There's dual ports, and again that is to manage the never-ending balance between port size and chuffing or potential air movement. It's very difficult nowadays with the expectation of good solid reproduction of bass, low bass frequencies, to be able to then manage the cabinet with ports without either having the cabinet way too big and you'd never put them in your house, or so potential for chuffing and other sort of associated things with the air moving through the cabinet. So they've opted for a dual port, big long port sleeves to ensure the air is managed as best as possible. As at the bottom we've got clearly marked binding posts, good fit and finish as far as the quality of those, easy to get the most out of, clearly labelled with the colour of black and red for positive and negative. So there we have it, Wharfedale's superb Super Lintons, unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.